Hopefully we don't get any feedback when I start speaking into here. Okay. All right, it's 11:15, so let's get started. Welcome to DAAC public meeting. We have one of these every single month. It's usually the third Sunday of the month from 11 to 1, and we have our meetings here. You can always join our meetings virtually as well if you can't make it in person. I'm just going to go over some of our community agreements and some of our meeting practices that we use during our public meeting. So first things first, we want to talk about our community agreements. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're doing things that fall in line with our 10 points, which are right here up on the wall. Outside of that, we also say to bring CARE to our meeting. CARE is an acronym for collaboration, acceptance, respect, and encouragement. So just kind of keeping that at the front of your mind when you're approaching conversations and interacting with people. We also use hand signs. So we just use two hand signs right now. The first one is a little L, so you can stick an L up for language check. If you don't know what we're talking about, maybe somebody says like a long acronym or just a word you never heard before, just give us an L, and that means that we can take a step back, kind of define that, and then move forward. And then the other one is I wish to contribute to the discussion. That can be a lifted finger or lifted hand. The other way that you can contribute to the discussion is using our parking lot. Parking lot is those sticky notes that you see on the table. And so if you have something that you're thinking of, pops up in your head in the middle of the meeting, and maybe it's just a little bit off topic, so like let's say we're talking about outreach committee, you think about something for the art committee, just write that down on the parking lot, and we'll make sure to review all of those items at the end of the meeting. Last like 20 minutes of our meeting is devoted to the parking lot. The other thing I want to just keep in mind before I start going deep into the agenda is that we do have guest agenda items. So those of you who are coming for the first time, or maybe you're not considered part of the core committee, if you have any particular items that you want to bring to the agenda today as well, we do have some time devoted for that. Other than the parking lot and the language check and just the I want to contribute hand, we also have different roles that we all do during the public meeting. Volunteers are welcome to join in that. So we have people who set up the audio and the tech for these meetings. We have a note taker who's going to be chair today. We have a facilitator, that's going to be me. We have a timekeeper, so that person just kind of keeps an eye on the time, make sure we kind of stay on topic, because we always want to get out of here at 1. And that today is going to be Charity as well, I believe. Yeah. All right, let's go over this agenda here. So we'll kind of start today, like obviously we start at 11:15. We're going to review the agenda right now. And then we'll go into some, general announcements. So just some updates around the DAAC, what's going on. Then we'll move into from 11:30 to 11:50, our guest agenda items, if we have any, and we have about 20 minutes devoted towards that. So again, anything we want to talk about. From 11:50 to 12, we'll take a break. If we don't have a lot of guest agenda items, we can kind of move, through some of our committee stuff, and just around 11:50, we'll end up taking the break. So then we have updates from our finance committee. We've got updates from our outreach committee. We have updates from our music and art booking updates. And then we have our youth programming committee updates. And then for the last 20 minutes from 12:40 to 1, we will do our parking lot if we have anything. And if we don't, we'll get out early. All right. So let's go over some general announcements. I'm giving out some general announcements. If you guys think of anything else that I missed, just raise your hand or whatever. We'll hand the mic off to you. So first few things. We have some volunteer needs, as always. We have some new committee positions, some upcoming shows. Our first free DAAC show is Friday the 24th, right? Yep, and so we need volunteers for that. So if anybody wants to sign up and you want to help with our COVID protocols, or you want to help make sure that our space is doing well during that time, we definitely need a couple people. I think we usually get 4 volunteers per show. So I don't know how many we have right now, but we'll definitely need, we have 0, so we need 4. All right, good to know. What's up?
Free music show, right?
For the music show? Yes, for the 24th, for September 24. I believe it starts at 6, is that correct? I was planning on trying to be there for the first couple hours at least. I just didn't want, I don't know how busy it's going to get.
Yeah, if I don't work, I'd also hopefully have something.
Yeah. A couple other volunteer things. We do need supplies for our youth art night, so if you want that link and you have some art supplies that you're trying to get rid of, just, you can get in contact with me, or you can email info@thedaac.org. Other shows. We have a few other shows coming up. So we got that free show on the 24th, and then we also have a couple other events. We got the Freed Peoples happening the next day. The Grass, which is the Grand Rapids Autonomous Support System, has a Spectacle of Connection, so that's like an art pop-up that happens on a Monday night. And then other shows we have on the 2nd of October, we have Jessica and the Rainbow and Alex Perez and Lovers. Is it Lovers? Other show coming up on the 8th of October. We have on the 9th of October, we have our art opening for Digital Penance. And then there are so many other events that I just can't announce. So if you want to take one of these, you can take one of these with you. These are autumn events for September and October. Other things. Ways to book. If you'd like to book with us, we have our art and music booking open right now. And if you go to thedaac.org, you'll see how to get into the booking, and there'll be 2 different forms, one for music, one for art, and you can just fill that out. Once it's filled out, somebody will contact you to confirm that or to talk through that process with you. Review COVID policy and gather public input. Okay, so we did recently have a COVID policy change. We had a couple of them, but the biggest one is that we have now required masks for all gatherings. For a while, we were allowing our partners to have unmasked events if everybody was vaccinated and followed all our other procedures. So we just wanted to gather some input on how people feel about this change. We were just asking everybody to wear masks, no matter what, if you're in space. Our capacity right now is 45 people. And what other things have changed? I'm trying to remember. I think we added the temperature check to our COVID check. I think that was it. But yeah, if anybody else has any input, you can share that now. You can write it in the parking lot, or you can grab the mic and talk about it. I know there was this, we were talking about what are the conditions in which we would increase to 50% capacity, is that correct? Or to 75% capacity, which is like 60 people. And yeah, I don't know what all those conditions were or what we're kind of setting for ourselves as guidelines. I know we talked about, when the county's cases drop or when youth under the age of 12 can be vaccinated, that might be a time when we could start doing that. But I don't know. Anybody else have any other ideas? Okay.
Anybody? Everybody all right with the clinic?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm also the farthest person from the doctor.
Yeah. What was that?
I said I'm okay with it, but I'm the farthest person from the doctor, so you probably should.
Oh, gotcha. Don't listen to Kyle for medical advice.
Yeah.
Well, we're all here to help, Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys ever feel strongly about something you want to share, talk through it, we are here for that conversation. The pandemic and dealing with COVID safety in this space has pretty much been the core of what we've been doing for the last year and a half. So we are making those conversations very, very normal for ourselves. Last thing here on the agenda, we do want to figure out our assignments for the next public meeting. So our next public meeting is taking place on October 19th? October 17th, my bad. October 17th, Charity will not be here. So we just need to make sure if anybody wants to help with setup, audio and tech, setting up the tables. If anybody wants to be a timekeeper, so again, that's just making sure we stay on track for time. Anybody wants to take notes or facilitate, let me know. We can always look back on that at the end. All right. Guess what? It's almost 11:30, so we're going to go to the guest agenda. Do any of our guests have any items that they would like to speak on or go over? Ellen is here. She's on the website committee. I don't know if you wanted to give any more updates on that.
Sure, yeah. And then,
Or Will, if you have anything.
do you have some agenda items?
Not particularly, or nothing super specific, but I'd like to say hello and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do that.
All
We
right,
can
cool.
answer any questions, yeah. So.
Yeah. All right, Ellen, take it away.
Cool, so, website project updates. We have the current website, which is now, the front page is now updated to show that we have the music and art booking form available. And the website redesign project, is moving forward with good momentum. The organizers for Code for Good West Michigan have reached out with, a project brief, is what they called it. It's a document that shows the different types of development activities that they're going to be helping us with on their, during their Weekend for Good event coming up this fall. The date, the specific date, I know it's early November. Let me just confirm that date. Sure, yeah.
On the main, on our website, it says music and poetry booking is now open. What did you say? Music and?
So that text can really easily be changed. If someone wants to maybe write up what they'd like to see there, it's just a link to the music booking form, which is different than the art booking form.
Okay, so where's the art?
I don't think it's live.
Because I didn't cover.
Art booking is
Sorry,
not
missed
live.
out on that.
So that can be an action item for us to collaborate and get that art booking form up and running.
Yep.
So I know that like there is a version of it in draft that you can just take a look at and see if it's what you want and if there's anything else that you want added to it, and then I can get it live on the current website. Would you like it in its own? We can make sort of its own call out on the homepage too.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will do that. So, yeah. Cool. And then probably it needs its own link on the main booking landing page. So we'll get that together. All right.
Dates.
Yeah, of course. So November 5 through 7 is the Weekend for Good event. It's a volunteer event where people in the West Michigan tech scene come together and collaborate with nonprofits to do sort of a sprint of donated work in any sort of technical type of project. So this could be a website redesign, this could be launching a new product, a small app, and so that's very exciting. Like I mentioned, the organizers reached out to us. They have a plan in place for, I think there's going to be upwards of 5 or 6 people collaborating on our project. So just getting prepared for that and ready for that. And then we're getting closer to having finalized designs. I met with Spencer this past week, and we went over his designs for mobile right now for the new website. So those are going to be coming out very soon. I can share those. I guess I'm not sure which forum to share those in, but they are very.
I think it would be fair to put it on the website thread or even on the general thread if you need like us to contribute in some way to those things.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the design comes out.
Same. I remember you showed us a couple weeks ago what Spencer had kind of put together, and it looked really awesome.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what his more finalized version of those ideas are.
Yes, I'm super excited too. Yeah. That's it for website.
Cool. Thank you for the updates. Here, I can grab one.
All right.
Quick question for you, Ellen. I know you said you have had to be prepped before the Weekend for Good. were you still planning on putting together some volunteer descriptions for the volunteer team to send out?
I do need to do that, yes, yeah, so.
Cool.
Thank you.
Welcome, Will.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Who I haven't spoken to like in a while. My name is Will Rudolph. I lived up in Grand Rapids here for a little bit less than a year. I heard about the DAAC through Sam Kubiak. She didn't tell me to come down for a minute and finally have some time. Yeah, I'm interested in helping out, perhaps, if I can. I have a theater tech background, so I know my way around setup and space and a bit of that stuff. Yeah, I have a couple thoughts about your broadcast, maybe even, for streaming. And actually, I work at a wood shop here in town.
Really?
So I've got a big access to a ton of tools and scrap material. If you'll need any stuff. And that's mainly it. Yeah, but also maybe be interested in applying to perform or do a show or something one day.
Oh, cool. Are you a creative, Will?
Yeah, I like to, a funny relationship with the arts and crafts. I like the craft side of things a little bit more sometimes, but I do have a performance background as well. I like to do all of that. But mainly just like doing stuff.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for putting this on.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of open roles right now on our signup.com, so we can show you where that is on our website later.
I don't know where to put this so that people can.
I'm happy to walk back and forth and hand mics out to people too. Okay, so right now we are doing really, really good on time. Are there any other general announcements that we want to go over before we maybe dive into some of these committee updates? I will make sure we have a hard stop to take a break at 11:50 though. All right, we're gonna move right along. Finance committee, would you like to do some updates?
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. I can-
Yeah.
Do you want me to go there? Okay. Hi, I'm Charity.
You can set yours.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Lorenzo and I have been having a planner of the Roman Awards going, and I'm happy to say that they're live, but we're not really advertised them yet.
It's awesome.
So Michael, will watch it.
Yeah.
Created a little image for it. So I just need to talk to the outreach team about best ways to share. I put the links in the notes for both the Patreon site, which would be monthly giving, and the Fractured Atlas site, which would be one-time giving. And we're gonna reach out to existing donors who give at a monthly pace because they won't get these rewards. It's not like you have to start giving again. And if you're giving through Fractured Atlas, it's fine. You know, we can keep giving to Fractured Atlas and you'll still get a reward. So, unfortunately, Fractured Atlas just doesn't have a great way for us to give rewards at a monthly level. So that's why we had to do it in two different spots. They won't allow us to give rewards if people are giving monthly. And I was like, dudes, that's almost what people give. Because
Right.
nobody's gonna really give like a giant lump sum in our peer groups. I mean, some people might, but the majority of our donors are like $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever. So that's why we decided to go with Patreon. We do take a cut, but it's similar to Fractured Atlas. So yeah, check out the links if you have some feedback about the images we have there, the rewards, if we should word things a little bit different. We just want it to be super clear because it is odd that we have two different sites. And maybe we'll, we'll keep tweaking and change it if needed. But we have another volunteer startup, Nathan's Flower. I'm trying to get time with him and Bridget because he has a background in fundraising.
Oh.
And that's what he does for an organization in town. And I really like his help in just, scheduling posts, strategy throughout the year. We did decide, I know I talked to you after about doing it through November. We decided to do it year round because we can easily mail out the rewards like once a month, the end of the month. And that way, we just, for this first time, we just weren't as prepared. And maybe we'll just see how it goes, extending the rewards to the whole year.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
One other update quick is the neighborhood match fund. We did get approved for that. I think we talked about it at our last meeting. So we've been working with Granville Avenue Arts and Humanities, and they have received the check. So now the check is in the mail to us, I think, and once we get it, we'll cash it, and then we can start taking the money out for the performers, which will be this Friday already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exciting. For those of you who don't know, that means we get to give each performing group on these free show Fridays $150. And we have enough in our fund to give it out to 20 performers or groups.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're looking for applicants for these shows. I think the next one we have after this Friday is October 8th, and we don't have anybody lined up, but I think Sam had somebody like emailing in the booking email about that date. But we'd love it to be like in the immediate neighborhood performers. It can be outside, but Grand Rapids would be great. Hey Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Hi Randy.
I'll go get
What?
Got a mask.
You got a mask?
I need a mask.
Okay.
Oh, we got some. Oh, you got a haircut.
Yeah, I did. I got no glasses.
Yeah. So we're gonna deal with that money, and that way we have $1,000 for our operating funds. And then the last thing I have is,
Wait, can you say that part again?
oh yeah, $1,000 is for operating funds out of the neighborhood match fund, and $3,000 is to give to performers. So that equals out to $150 per performer for 20 performers. So if it's a group with multiple people, that group is just getting $150 is how it's working. If it's an individual, they get all $150. So we're kind of working it that way.
I got a cool question.
Sure.
Okay, so, whatever Okay, so the 1,000 for our overhead, that's like rent and things like that, right?
Correct.
So do we have to give them receipts and all that kind of stuff?
We do have to track expenses, so they gave us a form for that, and they gave us a couple of things we need to do. We need to track our volunteer hours, because how we're matching this fund is with volunteer hours.
Okay.
So they gave us like day volunteer form, and then a hourly volunteer form, which we're gonna just track separately, and then I'll translate to the form. But we do need to keep track of the hours spent, you know, like if Sam's communicating with people for booking, you know, Lorenzo's doing stuff, I'm doing stuff, all the volunteers at every show, we estimated are working like 5 to 6 hours, so times 4 volunteers at every show, you know, it's gonna add up pretty quick.
Okay.
So
So
at
our
every
committee
show we're
folks
counting
don't really
volunteers.
need to track for this?
Who doesn't?
Our committee folks?
Right, just music, just for these free show Fridays.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
But if we're here.
Yeah, if you're volunteering
Yeah.
at one of those shows, we'll track your hours.
Sweet,
Yeah.
thank you.
And I guess one other thing I should say, we have some forms we have to people fill out, when they come. So in addition to COVID checks, we need to do like a photo release type of thing.
Oh,
And they give us a form for that, and then we need to gather some key demographics, like basically just their age and if they, you know, what zip code they live in. So I'm trying to put that together. I'm going to have to spend money printing all this shizak, some of our funds for that. So I could probably use some of this money and say, hey, we used it to print these forms because we need
Yep.
them hard copies. So.
yeah, do that for sure.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, and everything else I'd say, you know, just write off as rent or like utilities or something.
Yeah.
So I'll get you up really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great job doing that.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who helped and reviewed it, and Lorenzo has helped and put in lots of hours to help review it and kind of review. So grateful for volunteer power that helped us get here, and also for Grand Lab Arts and Humanities, which Harvey's part of, to be our fiscal sponsor, because that was, I gave that feedback to them that it was kind of challenging. We got approved like mid-August, and they wanted to disperse the money by September 1. And we had to find a fiscal sponsor within 2 weeks. It's like,
It's really hard to do.
yeah, y'all know, like, we should have been talking to people months ago. And like, if we had a longer time to be approved or to like get our fiscal sponsor in place, that would be helpful. Because it felt super rushed, and like, they wanted to get the money out September 1, but you're giving us 2 weeks when organizations need to meet themselves and have discussions.
And we're entirely volunteer rad. Like, what are we have time for this?
It was a little challenging, but I'm glad we're here. And I also sent a note out to Cat to Brandon Copeland to see if she had anybody.
Yeah, there's a dance crew. Hopefully that dance crew will book by Monday, or can hit you up by Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I just have to get with Sam about, and I've been trying not to bug her and just let her rest.
Mm-hmm.
And with these upcoming shows, I'm like, I don't know what you'd like me to do, but I'll do it.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, maybe we can check in with her on Slack and just make sure she's feeling okay and supported right now. Because if you guys didn't know, she got COVID, so she's just been in quarantine.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any questions about the financial state of the DAAC?
I just noticed that the Patreon, the last tier, is $20. It's supposed to be $25, I think. But in the description it says $25. It's just like on the top it says $20. No, I don't have any questions. I think we're doing good. We have a budget now. We have an annual budget. We're working on that. And so our next steps after we get these tiers are going to be start looking into moving to the L3C model, away from the LCC model, which might be able to help us more financially. So if you know anybody who knows how to do that stuff, let us know. Okay, our next, we got about, let's see, it is 11:45 right now. Do we want to go into outreach committee? I feel like we can do that in the next, like 5 or so-ish minutes. Is there a lot that we need to go over there? Should I just read these out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool. All right, so last week we did Crescent After Dark tabling on Saturday the 11th. It was really long. It went from I think we got there at 10:30, maybe a little bit before that. Charity might have gotten there at 10, all the way till, how late did it go, 9:30, 10? It was a long day. Luckily this year it was on a side street, and so it was so much more shaded. And they had a beautiful stage this time, so that's great. But for us, for the DAAC, we were tabling, and we were really well. We met a lot of neighbors. We literally ran out of our calendar flyer, our event flyer, because so many people want to come, which is cool. It gets us excited about doing more outreach things. We raised $300 just tabling and selling merch, which is fantastic, yay! And also some people just even donated to us and gave us just straight up money, woo! Nick Nortier was next to us too, and that was a freaking blessing because our tent did not have a cover on it. And so Nick happened to have an extra one that the DGRI had or something, so we get that, he gave it to us, so we have a tent now too, that works. Other things, we have 2 street team positions available and 1 events promoter, creator position. We really have been needing more outreach people as, the pandemic starts to slow down and people are just becoming more active. We want to get out there and meet, our neighbors, the businesses, the organizations that exist here. And Creston neighborhood is huge, so if you're interested and you're somebody who likes to talk, let us know. Content image creation, the team's done a freaking awesome job on making consistent images and graphics that fall into our branding guide. And so we just want to say thank you to those people who have been working tirelessly in front of their computers to bring the DAAC to its like cohesive aesthetic that we have. Yes, Ellen.
Add to that, also more good feedback about the branding guide from Spencer, who's been working on the mobile website designs. Great feedback on that, super helpful. Clean, nice, like easy to use.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, thanks for doing that again, Kyle. It really has made us have like, just having like a set color palette and set fonts and everything, and learning about like what ADA guidelines are for graphics is so helpful too. And then lastly, obviously, Ellen just talked a lot about the Weekend for Good, which is taking place on November 5 through 7, is that correct? And so we are looking for volunteers to help with that, and also just as a whole to keep continuing to grow our website committee. If you know anybody who really knows how to do like in-depth coding, right? Like is it RSS and stuff like that? I can't remember what it is, but yes, some little more advanced coding stuff. Again, volunteer at the DAAC.org. All right, it's 11:47. Let's give ourselves a 10-minute break. We'll join back at 11:57. And we'll talk about music and booking, music and art booking. In a moment here. Okay. Yay, let me use this one. If anybody has $1, Randy's gonna come by at 1. I was like, I'm leaving right now.
Yeah, I got $1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I think I have some change in my bag.
Yeah, I got $1 for our motor candy.
Yeah, you got a haircut.
I saw that.
Good, and glasses. I was like,
Sure we go. Over here, going over there.
oh, cool. Well, yeah, I told him, I was like, come back by 1, and we can see.
We got something for you. Grab some coffee, Andy.
Yeah.
You guys guys been having a problem with smoking inside.
Oh my god, no way. What?
Yeah.
People have been able to smoke inside since the early, since the 2000s.
Yeah, you were one of the first states to do it.
Since Hispanic.
Right? Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
that was interesting day. That was Friday.
Randy. Randy lives in a neighborhood. He lives like maybe 2 blocks over in a group home. And yeah, he's really nice, but he's just not physically aware of his surroundings sometimes. And so he pops in here sometimes. But he's very nice. I can't believe he's smoking inside though. I feel like that's just like such a thing that doesn't happen anymore. Very vivid memories of when that ordinance or law was passed. Oh yeah,
I've since quit smoking, but at the time I wasn't smoking and it was a big deal.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that I don't even think about anymore. Right? Like, I love going to a show and not having a shower when I come home. That is such a thing of like, going out to see a music show and you just like come home weak and like smoke and I'm like, oh wow.
You're the restaurant, we ask you if you want to get the smoking out, so I can.
Oh my
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like going out to eat anymore and having like crowds of people around me smoking cigarettes. I would not be hungry at all. I'd just be like, oh, my appetite is crushed. I'm good.
And so it makes me think of like, we were able to achieve that when it had been smoking in the indoor places forever. So how come we can't make other changes like gender neutral bathrooms?
Yeah.
Like all these other infrastructural changes and just do it.
We can.
It happens.
We can. We're just surrounded by a bunch of homophobes and racists
Yes,
and capitalists. Yeah, I was really young when that like legislation went through for like not smoking inside, but I always wondered like what was like that, the straw that broke the camel's back that like made the state decide that we were going to do that.
Yeah.
Especially since we were one of those first states that
Right.
ban that. I wonder if there are any states that still allow.
Or like plastic bags, like just
Yeah,
stop,
plastic
just
bag-
stop
or-
offering them, stop
Exactly.
offering straws, just like,
Or paper, like when we were in Italy, we had to pay a quarter for a plastic
Mhm.
bag, you didn't
Yep.
walk around.
Yeah, even in Chicago, you have to like pay 10 cents per plastic bag that you want or something like that. Like,
I remember having to put my winter coat in the garage to, like in the winter, after being in the bar to get the smoke gone.
oh no.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
remember as a kid too, like my mom and dad coming home from like a date, and they'd have just hangers like in the garage, like
Yeah.
they're just already were there, like hanging
Air,
the-
they're closed out.
the track to like, this is where your coats go after you've been out at the bar, and like we don't even have that.
Right.
Like, we don't experience that anymore.
Smoking inside makes me think of that restaurant called Ponderosa
Oh
that
my
used to
God.
exist in
Oh,
Michigan.
you
Like
know,
that is
buffet,
very
yeah, Ponderosa?
specifically like smoking inside in Ponderosa.
Yeah,
We used to eat there like.
My parents used to take us all the
And I
time.
would be like, okay, and I remember I'd get like the button mushrooms and like ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, that was-
Weirdness.
I know, I don't like any good there, so I agreed to like.
Because
okay,
we cross buffets, like,
yeah.
cross American buffet food.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, they both left as like as soon as the smoking ban went in effect, Ponderosa was like, we're closing our doors,
Yeah,
y'all.
We're out of here.
We got no patrons.
There's a few places, I think, that shortly after the ban went into effect, whatever state, they found a loophole where they declared a performance every single night.
Yeah.
Performance and stuff for a show.
oh, yeah.
Definitely a Nathan for you sketch
Yeah.
too.
Oh, well, I wanted to tell you, I think Emily, who's our volunteer coordinator, put a form out on our volunteer page on the website. I can show you where it is or whatever, but that way we collect the right information about you and like what things you might be interested in, volunteering.
Cool, yeah, I'll check it out on the website later and
Okay.
show me where it is and I'll check it
Yeah.
out.
Okay, cool, cause yeah, it's like, just the link and text, it's not like a button, so it's
Okay.
a little hidden, but,
Cool,
yeah, we'd love your info for that.
yeah, that'd be great to
Yeah, I just want to
help out. Like, it's funny, I moved up here mid-pandemic and life has just been slow.
Oh, you moved just recently?
The last year or so, I came up.
Oh, did Sam help you move over here?
Actually, yeah, early on, she went back to Charlotte with me and flew back and drove up.
Okay, I remember you talking about that trip and
Yeah.
everything, so, yeah.
So yeah, it's been
Either in person or virtual, so.
just slow.
Yeah, and where's the shop?
It's down south, like Wyoming area, about 10 miles south of downtown.
Okay, cool, so you have to travel a little bit, or do you live more down there?
No, I live up around Heritage Hill area.
Okay,
So it's a little bit of a drive, not too bad.
yeah, great,
Yeah.
okay. I think I saw Sam maybe posted, you have some openings at your
Actually,
work too.
yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, we have lots of openings right now. It's so funny, like, this factory that's existed, the company's been in Grand Rapids since 1946 or something.
Oh, wow.
But they've really just been owned by a bunch of different companies over the years. Howard Miller, the clockmaker, not the chairmaker,
Okay,
they owned them last and kind of like did them dirty and just like ran the place into the ground, and then they were going under, and this company out of New York bought them. So
Okay.
that's who I got hired by. It's weird. They're pretty upfront about it. They make very fancy things and create perceived value.
yeah, right. No, that's cool.
Mm.
How's Bria doing in settling into their position?
I think good. They're not getting the Slack updates, I think, sometimes. So they're checking on that, but they did a great job putting the postings together
Cool.
Friday's show.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then, yeah, I think it should be easy enough to just duplicate those for the other show.
Yeah.
And then put the link of the show in the description or something.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, I think that's working, and then I think the only other thing that we're doing is like the volunteer training
In October.
in October. I just thought I would lead it with whoever else wanted to lead it and just do it again,
Yeah.
but.
October 2nd. Like I can make sure to try to have some time dedicated towards that. We're just doing one this time.
Yeah, and I thought, let's just do sound, hour one, and then the other positions hour two.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us leading it. I just thought,
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like just that first one we had to kind of like get everybody there to feel like good about it and then go from there. Okay, all right. It's 11:57 now. We are going to move into updates and announcements from our music and art booking. So that's going to be Sam, who's not here, Al, and Kyle. So here you guys go. Or if you guys want to come up here, up to you. I will move this out of the way. Oops, thank you. Okay.
Nothing even pop up.
Why do you start that way? That way we're not like, right, Kyle?
Yep.
Alright, so for art, just wanted to give a quick review the Dak fan art exhibit, which the idea came to us when actually Harmony talked about during one of the family art nights, a younger person said something about how they, or drew a picture about how they love the Dak, and we were like, that would be really great. You know, it represents all ages that we want, gets everybody involved, gets our community involved, and it was a pure fundraiser, and it was, you know, supposed to be something that wasn't high-end or high-brow, obviously, because that's not who we are. And like I said, it was a great way for us to make sure that all different abilities and ages were involved in the exhibit. And I actually need to figure out the total sales. I guess I'm wondering too, do we want to do a survey of who participated and any of the purchasers? So we can try to put that together. Do you guys think that'd be something that's valuable? I like the idea of, you know, at the beginning of each of our exhibition seasons, we kind of do that show again, where it's just a pure fundraiser, meaning that, you know, all works are donated, and then there's a base, for this one was a base of $10 per sale, all proceeds going back to the DAAC. So, the artists and the people who purchased the works of art did come and pick up almost everything except for 3. Okay, so I gotta
talk to you about that.
Alright, so I've got some people to follow up. So I think, you know, next time on things, just directly I need to do more communication about the expectations of picking up works of art. Some people donated their artworks too, and so when we do any type of, like, if we do a table again at you know, for art fair or something like that, we'd be able to sell those pieces as well as along with our merchandise. So that's cool too. So overall, I think that the opening reception was really cool, but having Sam set up the poets to come and Harmington with that really is what made the art opening as successful it was the joining of the two. So moving forward, I think, you know, if we don't have like one strong artist or you know, a collaborative that has their own crowd, you know, that's bringing people and or providing music and things like that when we're doing these fundraisers, then I think we for sure need to make it a whole event where it teachers, both the music and art side for that. I feel like we could get more creators in here and just a better response to people wanting to stick around, buy merch, and learn about us, so. That would be my intention for, the kickoff of next year's exhibition schedule as well.
Cool.
Does that sound okay with my follow-ups that I have down there?
How was the closing reception? Did you feel like that length of time was okay? I know you guys had shortened it to like 3 hours or something.
2 hours, we shortened it. I was really glad we shortened it.
Yeah.
Again, because there wasn't an additional draw to get people in really, with having a music, event happening at the same time. There wasn't anything really new for people to come, and we didn't attract new people, for that closing anyhow, so it was really just people who were picking up their works of art, or purchase works of art. So yeah, in the future, I think, like I said, closing reception and opening reception, I'll wanna make sure that we work with Sam, make it a bigger to-do, otherwise just not have the closing reception at that one, and just have it be where it's just artists and purchaser pickups. So some good lessons learned. In September, so this month, I wanted to let you guys know that the DAAC is featured in Driver's Magazine, September issue, paragraphs titled Supporting Artists Where They Are. I had the opportunity to be interviewed for that, and basically talk about, how we as the DAAC want to support, artists, artists in the community, to be here for them, to make exhibiting a positive experience, in a space where we can, work alongside them, teach them how to exhibit, and promote their shows, and really kind of a startup space for local artists of all ages and abilities. And yes.
Is that the September issue?
Yeah. And then in that, I also just kind of closed out by, saying that, one of the goals really is to get people used to buying original works of art again, and that this is an affordable space for people to do that, purchase works of art, and to, learn to live with the works of art in this place and appreciate, original works of art, but that comes to the exhibit receptions to learn from the artists themselves why they created the work, learn about them, learn about the artwork, and then just have those discussions that you have in receptions where it's not only networking between artists, but artists to patrons and vice versa. And so it's just an extension of growing community, and that's really, what we, now that we're kind of understanding how we can function during COVID times, it's, we really do want to get people here in the space during the receptions to start having those conversations again, and again, like I said, it's an extension of community building, which is really important for us. I said it better in the made it a lot shorter.
We'll try and find it in Twitter.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll try
Good.
and share it if we can find it.
Yeah, I tried to find the digital copy of it, but they wouldn't do the flip through.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
So, what I probably do is scan it. Buy that copy and scan it. Okay, so the art committee has finalized our meeting dates finally. So we're gonna be meeting the last Wednesday of every month, and they're going to be Zoom meetings. So our first one is September 29th, and we're saying at 8 o'clock. So I'll be reaching out to some of the folks that have already filled out this volunteer survey. Like, Joey was one of them as well. I'll try to reach out to Lindsay again, and but we'll connect with Bridget, and we probably put a little graphic together to announce that, so that we get posted on Facebook, so that we get our next follow-up sooner than later for that. So that meeting, the intention is
good time, fun time, guys. So for the closing, we were also thinking, I think it would be cool to also, you know, bring into what Al was talking about, help bringing either the poets or music show, to help bring in the draw. I think a cool, fun, spooky costume show could be fun, because it's going to be the last Saturday of the month, and it's on the 30th. Because who doesn't love a good costume party? Also, more reason for people to wear masks, because they, you know, fun stuff. Because I think that would be really fun. I got to work with Sam on that, once she is feeling more fit and ready to go.
We can discuss those details too during our Wednesday.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So yeah, I guess solidify that. I know Matt possibly had a friend that might want to play. I don't remember exactly what their name is at the moment, but I can get that. It's in my other notebook, one of my 4. But yeah, other than that, that's about it on that. I'm really excited to get going, because I'm excited to get all these projects out of my brain. It's been roasting for 2 years.
So the last line there is a program related to exhibit family art night. So, Harmony and I like to work together on that, and so what we said that we need from you, you could send us some images that we could use as inspiration. You know, probably not the spookiest ones.
Yeah, I mean, luckily they're not like, there's nothing gory or something like that. It's all just simple, like, ooh,
It's really
looks like a
cool.
ghost.
Like I was stalking Kyle's website.
Oh, good.
And just trying to
Yeah,
figure
I
out
have, we have a drive folder full of all these images that were shown.
Yeah,
along with,
you also
visual
have
copies.
an artist statement or something to just kind of describe
Yeah.
the function of the work. That would really help us. Because
Yeah,
I already have some ideas.
I'll get that to you, probably tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great. We're meeting.
Because we have like a rough idea. I'm just not the best communicator when it comes to writing, and
That's
Matt
okay.
is much better at that. So.
You can even like, even if it's adjectives, like if there are words that are just drawn to, you feel drawn to, that helps us too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can definitely get that for you then.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that complete, you know, artist statement that they normally like print on the gallery wall or whatever.
Yeah,
If
for
you want to
sure.
do that, we could definitely forward.
Probably. Definitely. Yeah, let me know if you want me help setting stuff like that up. If you need images or anything like that, I can help you out.
Okay.
I plan on making a separate image for the flyer, especially if you know it's going to end for the closing thing, especially if it's going to end up being a music show. That may just already have like, we get this goofy image of me and my buddy Kyle, like draping over each other in costumes.
Randy, make sure your mask is over your nose.
So, the programming meeting is this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, I will share some of those details in just a second here.
So yeah, if you could, like I said, get that information over to us sooner than later.
Do that ASAP.
Okay, then we'll review our ideas with you too, you know, and we'll go from there, but.
Oh, so speaking of youth programs, what kind of art supplies do you need? Because I have stuff to tell you.
Of course, let me go over that a second here.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about November as well?
Yeah, so in November, artist Katie Sean.
She's awesome!
Yeah! She's going to have an exhibit, we need to officially get, her to fill out forms and, get that on the calendar, but, that's our intention for November is Katie Sean, and it's, I'm pretty sure mainly going to be a photography exhibit, but.
Cool.
Yeah, what?
Katie, the artist name is Katie Prashant, and I think it's going to be mainly photography.
She did one of the JRPL videos with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch just doesn't need for digital stuff too. She's also a digital artist.
Yeah. I know, too. So we'll see. Katie and I are going to be meeting, I believe this fall, this coming week, start getting some of those details.
Cool.
So that's it for, art release.
Cool. Yay, thank you, Al. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. All right.
Right now it's 12:12, so I'll just quickly do my update and then we'll go into the parking lot, I think.
Not outside. The one in our imaginations.
Yeah.
All right. So just some updates from the Youth Programming Committee. As you know, I am on the Youth Programming Committee. We have 2 other people, Caroline and Richmond. I've been taking a break because Caroline and Richmond did have COVID as well. Yep, so that was a couple weeks ago though. So they should be finishing up their quarantine soon. Couple things, just 2 things. We are working with the art committee to plan out our open studio nights and our family art nights. We've taken September off and we will start back up in October. So every other Wednesday from 6 to 8, there is either the open studio art night, which is just an open space for any artists come and make. We won't really have supplies, you just bring your own thing and you can come make. And then our family art nights will happen on the other Wednesdays, and those are going to be activities that have steps, so it's like one specific activity for a family to do together. Our goal is to have these activities center around the artwork that will be in the space. And so October is going to be our first month trying to build activities around the art exhibition and find ways for families and youth to interact with artwork. So we are meeting on Wednesday at 8 o'clock this week, just to kind of talk about that. I think Ally invited you to that event as well, so check your calendar. Kyle, if you do want to pop in, you can do that instead of if you don't feel like writing out something. So with that, right now we've just been imagining some ideas. I'm thinking of something with air dry clay, making like some sort of creature or ghost based on like taking a picture of yourself and turning it, because I imagine that's kind of like what your guys' work is. You kind of like photograph subjects and then heavily digitally manipulate them. Thought it might be cool to do with clay, and some like emotion words or something. Yeah, Kyle, what's up?
Did you in elementary school ever have to make masks out of like cut up jugs?
So that was the other activity I was thinking was mask making, which then would like be the week before the closing show, so they could come back and try to wear them if they wanted to.
Okay, so that's exactly
Yeah.
that's immediately what I thought.
Okay.
It's like, that could be really cool for, who doesn't like making a mask.
Yeah, totally. Just we'll dump some ideas and work on that. So that's kind of our next thing. So those family art nights are going to be October 6th and October 20th. Yeah. So if supply-wise, we do have a need for new art supplies. There is a list going around. It's on our newsletter. But I can send that to you, Kyle, as well. And so there's just some specific things. One of the big things is we would love to have some like art organizers or something like that. Randy, what are you doing?
Can you say that?
Like things that like organize paper or pencils, like because everything is stored in that cabinet over there, and it is just a hot mess right now. I'm gonna try to reorganize it soon. We had some people donate some things that are awesome, but we just have to like kind of reorganize it a little bit. So yeah, if you have like nice tin cans or something that we can put pencils in, or if you have like one of those like old desk things that like you can organize paper clips and such, we would love to have a couple of those, or those like shelves that you can just slide your stacks of paper in, because we have construction paper, line paper, plain paper, and I kind of want to be able to separate those things a little bit. So,
those are the things I don't.
oh, that's okay. But there's other things that we need, like Sharpies and some like tape. We don't really have clear tape. If somebody has like a tape dispenser, so that list is on our newsletter. But again, I can give that to you as well.
Okay, because I was gonna say I have like old gouache paint that can be used.
Oh, yeah.
I have like smaller canvases.
Okay, canvases might be nice. Yeah, we're trying to keep the list simple for now, just because we don't have a lot of storage. As maybe our shelving and stuff grows, then we can start to think, expand our minds on what we can have. The last thing is that I'm going to be doing canvassing next week in the neighborhood. We're going to just go around and flyer. I have a map. I have 4 sections blocked off of the neighborhood between Plainfield and Dale Street. So between Plainfield and Dale, and then between like Taylor all the way over to almost Lafayette. I'm trying to canvass that whole area. And so on Saturday, not next Saturday, the following Saturday, I just put Saturday 10 to 12. What is that date? I'm so sorry, 1 second.
It's not the 25th, but are you doing it October 2nd?
Yeah, it's the day before our next core committee meeting. I think it's like the 13th or 14th or something.
Oh.
Sorry, let me look again.
The committee meeting will be October 3rd.
Oh, wait. Yes, it's the 2nd. Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
Yes, so it'll be before our volunteer training.
Oh, that's
'Cause I was-
a lot for you.
Yeah, well, no, I'm planning to be there for the volunteer training, so I was like, oh, I'll go canvas before the training, and then, yeah. So I would love to make a signup.com post for that. Unlimited amount of people, honestly. Like, if you just want to walk around the neighborhood and basically put flyers on people's doors, we'll just be taping them, like, because you can't put things in people's mailboxes anymore. That's illegal. I found that out the hard way. So we'll be going up to people's doors and just like taping some flyer and some information on their door, or like kind of sticking it by their doorknob or so, just to get out there and share with people about our family art nights. We had really low attendance at our family art nights in July and August. I think we had a total of 5 people come for all 4 events. So we really just want to get our neighbors engaged. Our open studio and art nights and our family art nights are free events. So we really just want to keep boosting those. So yeah, if anybody wants to come help canvas, if you like walking around the neighborhood and you want to get more familiar with the Creston neighborhood, this would be a great opportunity. And it's a really low stakes situation. You don't really have to interact with people unless you want to. And you can just talk about the DAAC. And if you don't know, I can help you with that. Yes, Charity.
Sorry. I got in touch with the Creston Neighborhood Association, and they send out their newsletter twice a month now,
Okay.
so we can get any dates, information to them.
Okay.
And then, I couldn't find information about our old canvassing route, so I'm glad we
Okay.
did something. And finally, there was another thing about this. Yeah, if there's any way we can help, I put a committee listing up for, in-person street team,
Okay.
but we haven't gotten, we haven't really publicized those.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll need to work with Bridget, other folks to just like
Okay.
push the word out about getting the street team together.
Yeah, I will post in the outreach team Slack as well the date and times for canvassing, and also if after the core committee meeting on Sunday, if somebody else wants to go out with me for an hour and just, canvass the neighborhood, definitely. I'm always down to do that kind of stuff. It's a great reason just to be outside before the winter comes. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other questions people have about canvassing. The Creston neighborhood is huge. It goes all the way up to 3 Mile technically. We can't cover all that area on ground, and that's thousands of houses, literally thousands. Like, I counted so many. So we're just gonna try to stay within this kind of like 8 block radius for now until we can expand and we have more people. So,
So we're gonna get more of the like flyers printed.
yeah, and I think if we just have October events, since we won't be flyering till October 2nd, then that if we make like a different one or whatever eventually, I don't know if we're doing like an October-November calendar or
We'll just have an
whatnot.
October one. I just did
Okay.
that one for the event. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
There wasn't like a lot of events in
Yeah.
September. We were kind of like, we're all kind of like, okay, take a little bit of a break before it surges again. Yeah, any other questions about the youth programming committee and what we've been up to? We really don't have too much going on. It's just kind of the family art nights and the canvassing lately. Cool. All right. So we are going to move to our last part of the meeting. Right now it's 12:21, so we're doing fantastic on time. I have a feeling that we're all going to get out of here early. Parking lot items. Do we want to review those? Let me go around and grab those real quick. Any parking lot items for curious?
I was taking my own notes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Any other Thank you. Okay, first one's first. We got a shout out. We got a shout out, guys. We got a shout out. I was gonna get in a little bit more of a shout out. Great job, Ellen. Thank you so much for your work. A heart from Anna. Love Anna. You're welcome. Okay. Let's go to this next one. This one seems, the last one seems a little bit weird. Are there any more art festivals we're tabling?
Yeah, that's for me.
That's a good one. I don't know. Are there, other than Art Prize, there's Confluence, right? Coming up?
So I'd like to, do confluence. I will, meet with Becca Shaw on that,
Okay.
for just kind of a introductory meeting on, what we can do, how we can be part of it, how we can table, or if there's another way.
Can we back up 2 steps?
Yeah.
What is confluence? Cause we're probably.
Yeah, so Confluence is this new, arts festival that's happening downtown. And, it's bringing STEM and STEAM together. And so it's going to showcase, musicians and artists and, other creators that, you know, would be like engineers and, you know, the sciences, and really promoting the collaborations and community building between these different types of sectors, and really putting light on how the arts can positively influence these other sectors and vice versa. So there's a kids area where they'll get to make things.
This is taking place at the Calder Plaza. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
It's
is September
This
20th.
coming weekend.
Yes, it's
This
this
coming
weekend.
weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, then we're not doing anything. Shoot.
It's the 25th and 6th, correct, Saturday and Sunday, so a 2-day event at Calder Plaza.
It says the 24th and 25th, which is Friday.
Oh, Friday, Saturday, sorry, I misspoke.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just wrong on the right.
So Calder Plaza, it
24th
is taking
through
place in
26th.
the middle of Art Prize as well. And one of the founding members is a former Art Prize staff, that she really has so much experience in the intersection of youth and arts, as well as science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Yeah, there's a few actually people from the Art Prize staff that are also working on it.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Derek and Sir Paul and a couple of people.
So I heard there's gonna be panels, there's gonna be interactive art, there's going to be art activities as well.
Yeah.
Um,
So Beth and I, we're friends too, and we talked about it before, like, that's what Dak wanted to be called. But I know that I also got a teaching job at JRPS, and so I haven't heard anything about it. So I'll text her today and just see, like, if we can just get something, like, obviously this got away from me. Because when she talked to me about it before, it was like going to be after art.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I was confused on that.
Yeah, that's smack in the middle, isn't it?
Right, smack in the middle.
Yeah, it's the second, yeah, the weekend in December too.
Okay, so I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay, maybe there's a way for us to still boost them, or if they need just local highlights of other organizations.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll make it a point to connect with Becca.
Cool. Alright, other events I think that are coming up.
I'm looking to see if there's a pyramid scheme one. I don't know if they're doing the artist market this year. Is that-
Oh, like a holiday artist market,
Yeah.
that could be something we could table at. The other one that I'm thinking of is that Switchback up the street is having a pop-up coming up soon, and the table is free, but I think it might be on the night of your opening show. But I will be tabling at that event, so I can always bring some DAAC material along with me.
That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
when is that one, did you say?
That one is Friday, October 9th, from 4 to 8 at Switchback. Because it's just open tabling event, very low key. You don't even have to bring a table, they have it for you.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Inside and outside.
Nice.
I can give you Stephanie Ellis's email if you're interested in tabling at that. I know that there's other stuff going on that night though, but who knows, I can be over there and be like, go to the DAAC after this.
Yeah, that's the night of the opening, right?
Yeah, if you guys have like flyers for your show, give them to me and I'll put them up.
Yeah, I can-
This show's happening tonight.
See to get some printed out of the relay.
Especially since it's 4 to 8, so it's like a little bit before your
Oh,
show.
for sure, yeah.
Other
Like it's
other
in there.
events I'm trying to think of that are coming up, but I don't know, farmers markets maybe, but that's my only other guess.
Yeah, and from what it seems like, because I've looked into doing the Sunday ones that they do, and it seems like it's, like, once you get approved, and they say they can take up to a week, it's like $25.
Or for the For what one?
The farmer's market? The Sunday
Oh,
farmer's
yeah,
market?
if you guys also want us to set up that, I know Dana Elderly, I've been working with her for the past 6 months to get artists set up there, so that one, and then like there's another market that Emily Moore from the Susan Chavez market.
I know we also we talked about possibly doing an artist market here.
Yes, we have talked about that for the holidays. We do have like a loose fundraising calendar. We haven't really talked about what we're actually going to do in that, but we have talked about maybe our next core committee meeting. We should put that on the agenda, talking about winter.
Yeah, because I can help with that.
Yeah, we can let me make a note of that.
Yeah.
When we tabled next to Nick
Yeah.
for the, after dark, and we were talking about the alternative artist market again, and remember we had the idea about February, like a anti-Valentine's Day type of thing? Maybe that's something we could try to do instead of like a holiday one.
Yeah, because I had a couple of other like artist friends who were talking about like, oh, did I plan on doing anything like that? And I was like, yeah, at some point, so we've got interest,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And maybe we could also think about having a presence at like the spectacle that Grass has. That's like pop up that happens once a month. So that's another way to just even be in our own space and be like, hi.
Yeah.
By the way, this is our building.
But yeah, those are great points. Let's make sure we put that on the core committee agenda and we can kind of review the fundraising things and see if there's ways to get ourselves out there.
I'll have time to make more marketing for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so these next two sticky notes here that I got in the parking lot both are around our next core committee meeting. This says temporary meeting at Charities. So doing this meeting at Charities now supposed to be?
I thought maybe we could kind of have a potluck.
Ooh, that would be
Just
fun.
hang out,
I
you
love
know,
potluck.
if you want it outside.
Let's do it.
October 3rd, right?
Yeah, just because we are always talking shop, and maybe we want to just hang out and play bangs or something.
Yeah.
Maybe what, 11
Make some board games and
Yeah, still do 11 and 1, bring a dish to pass, and then, also because Zachary Trevellis was wondering if he could use the space that day for
Oh,
another
yeah.
CSA art pickup, and I was like,
oh, cool, they're gonna do that here?
yeah.
That's
Oh
cool.
my gosh, I'm gonna have to bug him.
Yeah, he just set up an entire, like, he won a grant for our prize to do like the
I
art
saw
books and
that.
stuff,
The
yeah.
mini art galleries.
Yeah, they're all over the city.
If
Yeah.
anybody doesn't know who Zachary Trevellis is, he works for Avenue. He's kind of like acting as their director.
Yeah, pretty much, it
Right?
seems like. I don't know
Really
if he
awesome
officially is, but he
person.
basically is.
Yeah, if you want to get connected in the arts community, talk to Zachary Trevellis. He has built an artist network on their website, yourself on there. I got myself on there, and since then, people just randomly email me about things that I have to say no to. But it's really cool. And they're doing a CSA right now where you can get, like, basically like what CSAs, you know, like the groceries, but instead it's artwork. And so they got some really cool stuff.
Such a really good artist, so.
And also Zachary is like a musician and artist himself. He's at UCA right now as well. Okay, so last thing I have here is review process definement at 10:3 meeting, core committee meeting. What does that mean?
Just kind of like where we're at with our processes and
Oh,
them defined so
of
that,
course.
we can include more people in our groups, or just
Okay.
like so they know and they can pick up maybe a part of it. If
Mhm.
it's hard for us to do all the
Yes.
parts, you know, so like, I'm thinking about Allison with all the paperwork and stuff, if there's somebody in your committee who could just be emailing people, or like, same with Sam with booking, she was trying to get somebody up and running, just email people,
Yeah.
the advance email before they come play the show,
Yeah.
but she organized everything else, so like, just little things like that, so we know all the things that have to be done, or just like how we're publishing things, or getting it to the outreach committee, just different things,
Yeah, I have continued to look at and this is very core committee specific, so I'm sorry if you guys don't know what we're talking about. But we're trying to make our processes more transparent, so anybody could step in and fulfill a role if they wanted to. And I really love this art admin process that was created by, I believe, Al, right? This little thing? I've been staring at, or is this Charity? I've literally been looking at this thing all the time. I'm like, this is so helpful, such a beautiful, helpful visual graphic that we could have more of these. So this one breaks down how to, when somebody submits a request for art booking, what do you do? And so it's a flow chart. And so we want to continue to kind of have some of these things. We have one for music booking basically laid out too. I was working on one for our CAN drive as well, but I like this one. But you could also just do steps like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 too. It doesn't have to be like this if there's, if it's just a process where there's not a yes or a no happening. Yes, Kyle.
Can I get sent that? I've never seen it.
Yes, I will send it to you right
I've
now.
never seen it before.
It was just the draft I made from the general, I copied everything from the general booking one and said, here's a template to rip off of.
Yeah,
It's
that makes
helpful to make a flow chart, because sometimes it's better. It's easier to visualize
Yeah.
something rather than all the steps, or to do both, just because the Word doc or whatever might have every little
Yes.
step, but this would be just the general what to do.
And this is we were looking at the feminist
Yes.
organization handbook, and this was how we were recommending us to
Great.
develop our processes to help show to other people. So this is amazing, and I know you made this a long time ago, but I literally look at it all the time. Yes, Ellen.
Yeah, I would also love to look at those because, let's say for music booking, for example, someone comes and fills out the form, and then you have to go and follow up with them for an image or something. With the new website, we can build a way to submit that image at the time of booking, or at the time of the form. So crafting that booking form to take care of a few things that you might have to follow up for. Oh, now I have to follow up with someone about this info, So there could be ways to just make it a little easier for people.
I just shared it with you, so it should be in your email. Because that's why we want to kind of have these flow charts of our processes, because somebody else is going to look at that and say, well, we can tell out 5 steps right here, or we can find a way to make this easier for us. So that's awesome.
Cool.
I think that's a great point, Charity. For our core committee meeting on the 3rd, let's make sure maybe you start thinking about some processes that apply to your committee. If it does, maybe trying to think if there's any committees that don't really need to do that. But all of our committees have different processes. We make lots of decisions that doesn't happen here, right? And that's part of consensus decision making, is that there are smaller groups of people who can make those decisions because they're knowledgeable on that. So we definitely should take some time for that, and we can build that out as we figure out who's facilitating.
I want to loop back to, right now it's 12:35, and I just have 2 more things that we need to go over. The first one is our next core committee, our next public meeting. If anybody wants to sign up for a particular role at our next public meeting on October 13th. 17, sorry. My apologies.
Okay, cool.
On the 17th, we need... Okay, Al's gonna note take. We need a timekeeper. We need a facilitator, a setup and tear down, and a tech. You may occupy multiple roles. I would be happy with timekeeping. I can do setup and tear down. Maybe I won't facilitate this time. I know Charity's off that time, so we can check in with Sam as well. Maybe Sal might have some capacity to pop in.
Yeah, I can have something.
Cool.
Can't say I'm good at it.
Very happy to facilitate as well. Just I feel like I've done the last couple ones, so.
Yeah, we can give you a break.
Cool. All right.
Kyle, what's your name for facility?
Yeah, do it.
Yes, God's
Yeah,
gonna
we got it. I'll do it.
Woo! Okay.
Can't promise I won't just talk too much, but.
That's what the facilitator does. You just have to fill dead air.
Well, then our meeting will keep you on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to do it.
Sure.
Okay.
The tech, that's setting up of the tech and sound stuff relates more to the soundboard, which I don't know anything about.
Mhm.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll bring in a speaker, great.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to work the PA system, so if anyone can,
I can take a picture of that.
That's a good idea.
maybe some instructions, labels, I don't know how to solve that problem, but
Yeah, we can always try just
plug everything into your laptop, and now there's just one hole. And you're
Yeah.
like, I can't get anything in here, it doesn't work.
Cool. We are done,
It's almost 12:40. Go to Gaia and get yourself fruit juice. That was a little pat on the back.
Oh, last thing. If we do have that DAAC Volunteer Survey, please fill it out. I want to get those gifts out by October 1st. So, if you know anybody who hasn't filled it out, please fill it out.
I think all my kids have done it.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to go over the answers this week. So I'll help us a little bit next meeting. Yay!
I don't know if you can see it on your phone on Thursday.
I'm so excited to subscribe to our Patreon.
You can subscribe to this?
I'm going to. I just have to pick out what tier I want.
Oh, no. Yeah,
It's so cool. Yeah, everything is live.
Let's see. So,
Yeah, when we talk about arts organizers, or something I could do something easy to make. The organizers for like paper and pencils and all that kind of stuff.
oh,
Oh yeah. Let me find that. 1 second. My
Yeah,
list.
I think that's pretty much what we're talking about. And, yeah, that's.
I can show you the space where we're storing things.
yeah,
I'm gonna do,
Yeah.
I can get stuff
yeah,
from,
we're excited to get involved.
I mean, I can get stuff from the GC surplus store, GC Virginia.
Okay.
And stuff, so.
But then.
Yeah.
Take a look at the list.
All right, let me share it with you, Kyle and Al, as well. You guys are gonna get a bunch of links from me.
Right information to you, how you want to be contacted, and like what things you're interested in, how many hours you can, so that helps us just like narrow down and things you
Yeah, when you reach out, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I will check that
So
out.
that's like our Zoom, yeah, we
Yeah.
fill out all that detail, like links to stuff and whatever, we'd love to see it. Yeah, yeah, so happy you were able to make it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we do this every third Sunday. And then we have like our other throughout the week, throughout the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so well, I should hopefully know my schedule for today. And I'll let you know.
So y'all are meeting Wednesday night to do your paperwork and stuff, and
We're gonna meet to discuss.
I gotta wait for my schedule to be made for tomorrow.
yeah,
But I will shoot out a text message or something about it.
That'll be the first, our planning meeting, so, we're just gonna do it and stuff, but, I don't know, it's something I wanted to.
I do, but that was actually my personal one. Huh? Yeah. Yep. I just gotta measure the walls here. It's,
just for the volunteer list.
go ahead. Yeah. Well, that finished cleaning up? Mm-hmm.
So there might be people in the old list that are interested in that stuff, but they never like responded or like volunteered in the last 2 years, so we kind of just like delayed.
Yeah, it's just like classic.
Yeah, okay. But there are some people that just sign up, lots of people for art on the volunteer list, and they're on the, they're on our newsletter, so that's like step one, get on the newsletter, and then they can like slowly trickle into like, I want to fill out this volunteer application, I'm gonna do those things. So,
Yeah.
we're trying to like have names now for the volunteer list,
Okay.
but maybe we'll get some people to that. We have like the positions or
Right.
whatever created. Are you bringing these down too?
Yeah.
I want to, during the.
Yeah, just pops
It's
out.
the ankle.
Yep.
It's the ankle.
New phone case. They live just right in front of the chair.